I'm an international portrait photographer. So I do something called destination portraits, where I travel to different parts of the world seasonally and photograph people's honeymoons, vacation, and solo travelers on different excursions. That was the last time I saw my father. Never saw him again. I lived in 8 different houses between the ages of 5 and 15, and I went to 7 different schools. So at the age of 15, there was a big physical altercation in our home. And I said, I have to get out of this house. I'm not going to survive if I stay here. And I've had 2 siblings attempt suicide, and older siblings. And I thought, I don't want to end up in that state. And I just want to, make something of myself. I often spoke out against them. And sometimes I would speak out intentionally because the physical abuse would be taken away from my siblings and put on me. And for me, I just had a very strong pain tolerance. So if my stepfather hit me, he would almost get mad because I didn't react the way my siblings would react. I was 21, 22, working for Jay-Z as a event planner. And then I got a freelance job for Versace, working as a freelance photographer. Ran off to Paris at 24. At 25, went back to the States and started my own company. I am 33, on vacation in New Orleans, and I'm walking down the street. And I just finished a gym class on my vacation, and I went to go to the smoothie store and it was locked, even though they were supposed to be open. So I'm knocking on the window and the guy's telling me 1 minute, and I thought, oh, it's June in New Orleans. It's so hot. I'm not going to stand out here and wait. So I'm going to go back to my Airbnb. And I pass her again, and we both look at each other like, I know you, but I don't know why. So I kept turning around. I know this woman. I don't know why I know her. So I walk half a block, and something in me says, Aria, go back. You must be one of the missing girls. And I thought, what? And in that moment, everything clicked. He designed pieces for Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson, and my mother did nothing. She has accomplished nothing, especially as a Black man in the early 90s. Oh, it's just a domestic dispute. You'll figure it out. She'll come back. So what my mother would do is contact my father's family and say, I'll let you see them, but you need to send me a check because, I'm all alone. And so they would say, okay, just to get the address. And then when she got the money, she would run. And my grandfather told me when I saw him for the first time, I remember my grandfather very well. And when I saw him for the first time 30 years later, he said, at one point I had to stop because she was just extorting us for money. And I had to accept that you were gone. And, so I didn't blame my father's family at all. So not only have you kept us from our father for 30 years, there's another girl out there who lived relatively close, maybe 2, 3 hours away from us, who you also kept from her father the past 30 plus years. My father tried for years to find us and just gave up on life, essentially. He didn't want anything to do with his family. He ended up homeless on the streets in New York. And it infuriated me to know that this man was so talented and had so much going for himself, and she ruined him. I think for me, the biggest takeaway is for people to realize that it's okay to go your own way if it's for your mental health and for your well-being, because I can't imagine I would not have accomplished all I've accomplished and be where I am today had I stayed in that house. And sometimes I look back and I wish I could talk to my 15-year-old self.
You took radical ownership of your life, which sometimes people don't do until they're in their 50s, right?
I actually talked with an Uber driver once, and he said to me, you have a very high sense of self-awareness. You're very lucky. And I thought, is it rare?
It
Is
is.
that a rare trait? And I've learned, in my 38 years of living, it is. A lot of people are in bad situations and they know that it's bad and they stay in it. I always knew as a kid I'd grow up and do something cool, but I didn't think I'd be this cool. You were able to cope with it, deal with it, heal from it at a faster speed than your average person. And you more so focus on the solution than the problem. I've done the necessary work to heal myself and be able to build the life that I want. But typically, unfortunately, in our society, a lot of people haven't. And a lot of people are unaware that they need to.
I'm on a healing journey. I don't believe that there is a place where we are healed. I think we are always healing. It's not that deep. Like what you're talking about to me right now is not that deep. Like what are you talking about? And I have to catch myself and be a little bit more empathetic because I understand that not everybody is on the same level to have
Yeah.
self-awareness. Like I liken it to a lighthouse on a dark night. Yeah, out in the
Yeah.
middle of the ocean, and all of a sudden you're in range of this lighthouse that gives you the ability to see in front of you, to the left and right, and to your rear, and it gives you the power to
Mm.
navigate, to navigate
Yeah.
the circumstances that you know are aware you're in. I think so many people don't even realize that they're in survival mode. It becomes
True.
such a part of their identity that without the awareness, they never escape it. And
I have found that most people are not living the life they want to because they're doing what they were told to do. And I think a
yes,
horrible way to live. When you're reaching the end of your life and you look back at all the things you didn't do, the hundreds of millions of reasons you gave yourself not to do it, a lot of people leave with a lot of regret. And so I think it's worth trying rather than not trying at all.
you have so much more control over your life than you can ever imagine. And it comes down
100%.
to making that decision that you are going to live the life that works for you. Live your life. Live your life. Take radical ownership of your life because
Yeah.
we only have one opportunity that we know